Meet literary icons only on the program Book2Art, Delta Television Asaba, 10 a.m. every Wednesday. Do the arts, stay smart.
It's exciting to be here again. It's your interesting program Book2Art for our artists there, our literary artists. Of course, it's another great edition. This moment promises to be very exciting. It's always on Wednesday on Delta Television, the People's Pride. Today's edition certainly will feature a guest. Is a literary icon, and he has 3 great books to his name. And to also let you know that he is a filmmaker, is a publisher, and is a writer. But would let you in on who our guest is. Is no other than Ambassador Solomon Okowa. We'll take on his profile, be back to share with him on literary works. To stay with us.
Ambassador Solomon Okowa is a movie producer, a writer, a publisher, and a businessman. Ambassador Solomon Okowa is the younger brother of the governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. His long drive for literary works is evidenced in his recent works, The Mirror of God, This Is Who I Am, Saved for a Purpose, and Tears of Power. An expression of the experiences he went through in life and by which he came to identify his DNA is encapsulated in one of the books he authored, The Mirror of God, This Is Who I Am. Known for his prowess and true leadership and biblical perspectives, Ambassador Solomon Okowa left no stones unturned in his work, Saved for a Purpose, where he portrayed the quality of true leadership from examples set by the greatest leader of mankind, the Lord Jesus Christ. Passion-driven for the well-being of women and the society, he set out and yet another masterpiece, Tears of Power. A literary icon on the program today holds a degree in business administration, associate degree in business management, and diploma in script writing. Ambassador Solomon Okowa hails from Owa in the northeast of Delta State, Nigeria.
All right, great profile. Yes, I did mention that our guest today has 3 great books to his name. Of course, the first one there is Saved for a Purpose, and another one, This Is Who I Am, and the one that actually resonates with me is Tears of Power. And now we get to meet our guest. There's a book that I want us to share. This is Tears of Power. I want to find out what is the reason behind writing this book, and what lessons do we have to learn from this book, and why did he put this down anyways. It seems like for every book he writes, there is a true story, or rather there's a story behind each of the books. So stay with us as we take on literary works where we'll make welcome our guest live. Nice to have you join us on Literary Works. Yes, we had a bit of his profile, our guest today, on that profile. Is Book2Art a bit about our guest today on the profile? You know, if I continue on and on, we'll have his profile all through the end of the program. But we're glad we have him right here live. Let's make welcome Ambassador Solomon Okowa. Pleasure to have you join us.
I met you. How are you?
You look amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir. Now, my mind said I felt you had just you have just 3 books to your name, and it's amazing that it's more than that. You've written 11 books.
Yes, I've written actually 11 books, but 6 published.
Already, and we have them here.
Yeah, these are the ones.
Okay, first, before we go into your works, your literary works, now, what's the motivation?
The drive is actually having passion for transformation.
Okay. Okay.
I have this passion to make a change in people, and that's basically it.
Okay, to make a change, I like that. They said change is the only constant thing in life. But I would want to find out the reason behind you writing all this. It's more or less like an inspirational beat for you.
Yeah.
And now this other one is My Invisible
Invisible
Friend. Mm. Oh my God, I'm going to have a big bag of books very soon. And there's another one here.
Customer, my boss.
Okay, this is
It's
my
the same thing.
the same
It's
thing.
actually two books, two in one.
Okay, this is more on customer training and
Yes.
service training
Yeah.
guide. Okay, but based on our customers, our boss.
Customer service.
Okay, and this one is on hospitality industrial book.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right, and we have another one here. This is Tears of Power. Like I'm actually in this book already.
I know you love it.
I love this book. I don't know why. Could be the eyes I see and the tears there. So it's actually, it's emotional for me when I look at this book. It's so vivid. And there is another one here. And that is what, actually put this aside. You can hold this because we'll look at this one closely. And this one is
Saved for a purpose.
Saved for a Purpose. The passion behind writing is a whole lot.
Yes.
And okay, the mirror. This one is good.
This
mirror
is
of
who
God.
I am.
This
The
is
mirror of
who
God,
I am.
yeah.
Another thing I'd want you to tell me is, the way you title your books. I mean, you name your books. What's behind it? What's the name?
I write based on the title of my book.
Okay. Okay.
The title of my books that inspires me to write.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, before going into writing, I bet you were doing other bits of business before.
Yeah.
And what gave you the push that, yes, I think I can write? You might just have the passion. But again, having the passion and then putting it down is another, different ball game altogether. So what gave the mindset that, well, even if I have the drive, I think I can write? Were you mentored, or it's just a gift from God?
It's a gift from God. Anyway, I came to discover that I can write pretty well. That was far back, 1998.
Okay.
98, far back in the United States. I had a little problem with the law in the United States,
Okay.
and I was incarcerated for about 6 months.
Whoa.
So
That's
I found out that when your freedom is taken away from you, you have no other person to look up to but God.
Okay.
So it was at that moment that I was away from the Word that I began to get some inspiration, because I started from reading, and
Okay.
from reading I began to get inspiration. But I was reading motivational books,
Okay.
transformational books, Bible, and all of that. From there that I got that click that yes, I can do this, I can write, and I started coming up with stories and all of that. How good true leadership is all about, and all of that.
Are you a very religious person, or you're a Christian? You were born again?
I wouldn't say I'm religious. I'm not a religious person, but I would say
Wait, you're spiritual?
Spiritual, yeah. Just relationship, I'll call it that. Religion.
Okay. Some persons are atheists, but they're very good in hearts. They do wonderful things. Now, people have a particular writing style. I don't know which one you've actually adopted in your books, or do you do a mix of all writing styles?
Yeah, it all depends on what I'm being inspired.
Okay, this one, for instance.
like the
Tears of
Tears
Passion?
of Power you're talking about.
Okay,
This Tears of Power is actually a true life story,
Okay.
but there was a little bit of twist to it, and it's actually a story of a woman that I got to know in the U.S. And this is a woman that you never believe that she's gonna be anything in life.
Okay.
But as God may have it, he's now a big woman that you can reckon with. So when I came back to Nigeria, I see the situation because I have left Nigeria for the past 12 years.
Okay.
I left in 1990, then came back 2003. So when I came back, I found out that there's a whole lot of hardship, that things have changed. And the women, people have so much hope, but there's nothing happening.
That's
they
true.
believe in God, but there's nothing happening. And I found out that women here, that there's no equality for women in this society as compared,
gender
as compared to where I got my orientation in the US. And inspiration to just write about this woman that I know, give a story about this woman to enable our women out here to be courageous of themselves, to know that that they are equal to the society and that they can do something. So that was why I put up this piece.
Okay, fine. I want us to actually look at this book closely. We'll probably read from the book so that we get in the mood of the book. I like to get in the mood of this book, and I do know that we won't have all the time to read through from the first chapter to the last, but we can keep into some lines that would remain in one's heart, so that you actually feel what this book is all about. And I keep saying tears of passion, and to let you know that that same year, that's Ambassador, that's his face and that's his eyes. And you can see the tears here. Or this book, you just have to grab a copy.
The picture illustrates a whole lot. You can see that that's a chain,
obviously
a broken chain, and that's tears. The broken chain is like someone who was in bondage, and you broke that chain and you've got your freedom. And you know freedom is power. So that's what it is. So I haven't cried out to God, because when you read deeply into the book, you will find out that there is actually a cry in this story, and it was that cry out to God that broke that chain, that gave to the character there, Sarah, as a woman we're talking about.
Okay, I see this one here. I wouldn't say it's a chapter though, but I think it's a chapter 1.
That should be
that's chapter 1.
I don't have my glasses.
Don't worry, I'm going to read for you. Just follow suit. And chapter 1 there has the challenge.
That's the challenge. That's chapter 1.
The challenge. And I see that is also, you have the scripture attached to it as well. And this says, any situation one finds himself or herself should be taken as one of the challenges of life. Now, challenge is a factor that induces the responsibility of one's ability to handle a situation. Kind of do less. When you are overwhelmed or stressed, the most possible way to come out of it is calling on to God. And now you should sign it off with Matthew 11 verse 28 says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I like it. Okay, this is just a tip of the iceberg. Now, this book has an undertone of Christianity to it as well, and then a drive, if I'm not mistaken, for women not to give up no matter the situation. They can actually stand tall.
That's right.
Now, that's a bit about this, but I'd ask you more. I'll come back here. But let's find out what you were thinking about when you wrote this book, The Mirror of God. This is who I am.
True is actually based on true leadership. I was thinking of true leadership because the major problem we're having in the world generally, especially in our nation, Nigeria, is because of bad leadership.
Okay.
And it takes good, true leadership
That's true.
for you to make a successful living for your people. So that's what I'm asking. So then I found out, I read, like I told you, I studied Bible a little bit from the little one that I have studied.
Okay.
I got to know that Jesus Christ is the ultimate, what do I call it now? Epitome of true leadership.
Okay.
I studied that, and I was looking at it, and I was like, if everybody can understand or read the story of Christ, Jesus Christ, I don't think the world will be going what they are going through right now. And it came onto me, and I was like, I want to start with myself,
Please
not
do.
even talking about someone else.
Obviously.
And I was like, do I really even call myself a leader? Because every man is supposed to be a leader. Every man was born a leader.
That's right.
If you go back to the Bible, when we were all created to lead. So I asked myself, are you yourself, you're talking about Christ and all of that, are you truly a true leader? Then I was like, I got at the mirror, I looked at myself, I was like, are you truly a leader?
I guess.
So when I saw myself, I was like, this is who I am. This is mirror. I can see my image. So that image that I'm seeing, is it actually the image of God, the image of Christ that you are giving out to the people?
Absolutely.
Because if you have that image of true leadership, you will give it to your citizens. So that was what that was how I got to come up with this title, The Mirror of God, showing true leadership. If you have the mirror, the image of Christ in you. If you have the image of Christ in you, you should be able to reflect that true leadership. Then I was, okay, this is who I am. The mirror of God. So that's how the title came.
This should have a movie, This one should have a movie.
This one has a movie.
This should have a movie.
The Tears of Power has a movie, but the Mirror of God is just more for motivational.
Okay. So do you have a lot of people say that I have this person is one person that inspired me to write. So do you have any besides God? I know God is a factor. We all have the God factor.
Yeah, we have God factor. Yes, actually, I would say the ultimate. What can I say? The word inspirator is God, but something motivates you. That's kind of which word am I using now? Something can instigate you to do what you want to do. When you are connected, I can get inspiration. Inspiration can come, but I will just think about it. And just but something has to drive me to put it, document it. So that is where you are coming from.
Yes.
So that of the mirror of God, this is who I am, was nobody else but my elder brother, His Excellency Dr. Okowa.
Okay.
Because if you read that book, before you get to the topic of the book,
the tears, you mean the tears of power?
Not tears of power, the mirror of God.
The mirror of God.
Yeah, this one. You see his biography first as the introduction.
And I like the character, it's bold.
Yeah, the biography first. And so I found out that in my elder brother that he possesses most of this,
the acronym you have here.
The acronym, yes. In there. He has passion.
He has a positive
attitude and all of that.
Yes.
So I've been looking at his character, the thing, because he raised me up.
Wow.
He raised me up back when I went abroad. So I could tell you more about him than any other person. I left him in 1990 when we lost our mom in 1982.
Okay.
So I stayed with him all through till 1990 before I went abroad. So I could tell you much about him. Okay. So it was on that note that I put up this book. So it was actually, let me say, he motivated me to write
it because the introduction is on Dr. Okowa, His Excellency the Governor of Delta State. I can actually see that here. So it's a big motivator.
Yes.
Okay, now in the course of writing, were there challenges? It could be literary challenges like editing, putting this piece together. Were there challenges really?
Yeah, the challenges was a little bit of time because I was writing at the same time doing business. So I never had all the time, so that was why it took me some time
So
to
for
finish this.
so looking at Tears of Power, how long did it take you to write and publish this book, Tears of Power?
Yeah, Tears of Power. I started Tears of Power in 2007,
Okay.
and I think I concluded 2 years after 2009 also.
Oh, 2000 and
9,
2007, and then you concluded this book 2009.
yeah.
Wow, that's
That
a
was
lot.
because
2
of
years.
time. I didn't have the time. Even at home, then my wife would be at home when she would go to bed, like around 12 a.m. I would wake up and go to the other room and start writing at night. Before she would even wake up, I've finished writing for that session, and I go back to
To
bed.
another one.
Because in the afternoon, I'm busy hustling in my business.
So you were doing all the proofreading yourself?
No,
after
after,
writing?
after writing the whole piece,
Okay.
I give to expert to do some proofreading,
Okay.
proofreading to make sure that grammar and every other thing that
Okay.
I've quoted is okay. And yeah.
So what would you say about the reading culture now, especially in Nigeria? Do you think people read, and why is it that they don't read?
People are not reading anymore.
Why?
Oh, why? I don't know, because I believe everybody's hustling for money. Like I told you, people, you don't have time. But they forgot that the power is
So
in the book. Forgot that knowledge is power.
I'm telling you, so if there's treasure in the book and something that you would have as part of you till you get old or till you depart the world, and they just look at it and treat it with so much levity, like, oh, I didn't have to read, let's leave it. Could it be that the world, could it be that people are finding it difficult to meet up with the challenges of the world in terms of sustenance? Could it be that they're striving so hard, so because of that they don't have time to read, or that you just don't have the passion to want to read?
I guess it's because of the challenge. Everybody's looking for money, but yeah, people need to have this mindset that there's a word that said it is. I said it is idea that makes you successful.
Okay.
It's not money that makes you successful,
That's true.
but ideas. And ideas are gotten from what? From the book.
That's true.
The more you read, the more knowledge you get,
Yes.
and that knowledge
more
is
confident
the
you
power.
are.
Yeah.
So knowledge is power, just like travels and data is power. Now,
There's this book that I'm
saved
reading
for a
that
purpose.
I started reading that just based on what you're saying. There's this book. It's called The Billionaire Code.
Okay.
It's called
I
a book
think
called
I've
The
heard-
Billionaire Code.
I think I've heard of the book.
Yes. My mentor before, I think he referred me to that book, and I bought it and I started reading it. But you know that when I started reading it, the more I'm reading it, the more it's a
You
very
dip-
lengthy book.
The more you dip
The
into
more
it.
I dip into it, the more I get some kind of, what do I call it? Some kind of code of how to make money. And I've applied it and it works for me.
Business
But
code.
people don't understand. Every successful man today you go to their library, to their house,
They have
see
a library.
library of books.
Now, as we're rounding off, actually, this book, we then really look at it. I want us to look at it quickly. Saved for a purpose, and I see there's a car there, like an accident.
Okay.
So what is also the story behind this book?
Yeah, that's the car right there. That was 2006.
This car is yours?
No, it's not mine. It was a chartered vehicle from Lagos coming back to Asaba. That was in 2006, 29th February 2006.
Okay.
It was actually a leap year.
It's just like this,
Yeah,
2020 is a
I
leap
say
year.
that. Leap year is like leap year always takes a lot of life, huh? But that one wanted to take my life, but my
God said
God
no.
was there. Because you know that this 2020 is a leap year also.
Of course it is.
Okay. So it was the accident that I got involved in. And I never knew that I would be talking with you now. So that was what motivated me to put up this piece as well. And the title came from my dad. I got inspired from my dad's title, To Serve. And already I was writing about my story
Yes.
and all of that. This is basically more of my true life. I mean, my
True
story,
life story.
my life story. Yeah.
Mm.
I was like, okay, this is almost like what I'm writing. Okay, Save to Serve. I think I should title my Save for a Purpose, because God's rescued me from this accident for a purpose. If
Okay.
you find yourself where you know you're not supposed to be alive and you're
Okay.
alive, there is a reason for it.
Okay. And that's why you have your picture on it, because it's about you.
It's
as
about
well.
me, yeah.
And the tears of power, yes, and you're more expressive. You just felt, well, I
Yes,
can
well,
express this more when I have my face there, and then
But
the
you can't
tears.
tell.
Well, you can't tell it's
that's
you.
my face.
But but when I asked, of course, I never knew it was you, though. Okay, we've been interacting with Ambassador Solomon Okowa. Very interesting, and I don't want it to stop, especially when he explained so much about his drive for uh, writing and his passion for writing as well. That what drives him is his story. What drives him is not just any other beats, but what has happened to him, and he feels that this can actually be a big lesson for you out there. Now let's do a quick one as we round up. The book, I want to take on this one, Tears of Power. What lesson are you actually putting across out there for our women?
Yeah, just the lesson is for women to be courageous,
To be courageous.
to aspire for whatever they believe in,
Okay.
because they are also human, and they should not downgrade themselves because they are women and feel that they cannot do that which a man is
Okay.
doing. Yeah.
Okay. And what about this other one, the mirror of God? This is a straight message for leaders.
For the this is who I am.
Okay. What's the
Yeah,
lesson?
that's a message. The message is, if you are a leader out there, you really need to check yourself to make sure that you are a true leader. Do you have a purpose for leadership? You are leading. Are people following you? Because when people are not following you, you're just taking a walk. When you lead right. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. So for those aspiring to be like you, to write like you, the young ones, what do you have to say to them?
To the young ones?
Yes, who, for instance, I decide, I just wake up one morning and tell myself I really want to write, and I'm actually younger. What message, what will you tell them? How will you encourage them so that they become like you? They try to do their beats just the way you do it.
Yeah, my encouragement to them
And they
is,
should be original.
sorry?
They should be original.
Yeah, you should be yourself. First
Okay.
of all, the best way you can start writing is write a story about yourself.
Oh,
Start up with
that's-
yourself.
Okay.
Story about yourself.
That's a good
Story
one.
about someone that you know. And
That's a
from
good
there you
one.
start graduating. And read more. The more you read, the better writer you become.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming on. We've been interacting with Ambassador Solomon Okowa. He's a writer, a filmmaker, a publisher, and of course a whole lot about him, so many sides of him that makes it really interesting. And then he's actually doing really good. Most importantly, he's not doing it all by himself. It says God is the ultimate. Now whatever you do, you give it to the Almighty God, and try to be a good person, be nice, and get into that art. If you want to go into literary arts, please do it, and do it real good, and try and exhibit the attitude of reading. And it's important for you to write the story of yourself when you want to delve into writing. Proof check is also a big deal. And that's how it's been today. It's been very interesting interacting with him, and I know that he has so much to offer. His books here, if we start to read it, I'm sure we won't leave here today. But very good. Sometime we'll have him on again. That's the saying. Then we'll be back again to treat you to another interesting moment. And Book2Art, stay put. Remember, read a book today.